This is a follow-up to a previous video that I made where I talked about creating environments within Unity, and I just wanted to cover a few things that I forgot to mention in the previous video, uh, as um, as well as talk about some of the custom variables within the terrain generation script. So the first thing I wanted to point out is the terrain generation script is in the root folder, and that's because it uses the Perlin noise script, which is C sharp, and in order for it to access that, it needs to be in the root folder. So just a minor detail, but pretty important. Another thing was the water. We're using the Unity water, and I have the script set up so that it scales that object automatically. That's another reason we have this attached here, in addition to the C level variable that gets set based on the height. So yeah, if you're using a different water, you might need to remove this, or update this, or scale it manually within the scene. I think that was all I wanted to point out at the beginning. So let's move on and take a deeper look at this terrain generation script. I wanted to show you how the custom height map feature works. I've already imported in a height map texture. This is not a raw file, it's a PNG. So basically just a 2D texture, black and white. And the terrain generation script reads that in, reads the black and white data, and turns it into height data for the terrain. Pretty straightforward stuff, actually. But let's take a look at the settings because this is kind of important. We're going to use advanced. We're going to make sure the non-power of 2 is set to none. Read and write, I think, needs to be enabled. Wrap mode set to clamp, filter mode to point, and then the format you want to turn off compression and use automatic true color so it'll be crisp. And I think that's basically it. So I guess one thing I might want to point out, if you haven't worked with terrains much, is that it needs to be powers of 2. So you can have a terrain that's like 64 by 64, 128 by 128, 256 by 256, and on up. The max size is around 8,000, like 8,096, something like that, I believe, which is massive. You probably don't want to create terrains at that size. In this case, this terrain is I think about 257, and that's because it has +1. I can't actually explain that. I don't know why, what the deal is with the +1, but I just know it has to be power of 2 plus 1. So with that out of the way, let's just drag this onto the script and take a look at what happens. Here we go, and there's our custom terrain. Whee! Again, I can go under here. And that's about all there is to that, I think. I can point out a few more things. Dealing with the terrain materials, in this case you can use a custom one. I think by default it uses the standard terrain material, which is built into Unity. But if you want it to have a custom material or shader, you should be able to attach that here. In fact, we're going to create one. Call it material. Call it terrain matte. And we're going to set its shader to nature terrain specular. And here you can control the shininess and color. And you can just play around with these settings, see what works out for you. So let's go and set that in. And notice I have an option here for shiny, and that's because within the script you can set these variables manually. So yeah, if that's off, it switches it off. If it's on, it switches it to 0.5. Though I don't know if that overrides the material setting or not, to be honest. I guess I just need to test and see. So yeah, we've added a custom height map, we've added a custom material, and I have a clouds object we didn't take a look at last time, so let's add that real quick. The clouds is just a particle system, and you can set this up however you like. The only detail is that the box should be 1 by 1 and then the script will scale it automatically to match the terrain size. So let's drop that in there. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then let's test it out again. And now you can see those clouds kind of breezing past. Not a triple A quality effect, but you know, it adds a little bit of atmosphere to the scene. So yeah, I think I'm done with this video for now. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful, and hope to see you again.